Well, hello everybody, and do you know what? This is the video which is going to seal the deal on the ancient world travelers in possibly 2700 BC. There was a huge worldwide empire. People built the same way all over the place, all over the planet, in Egypt, in Ireland, in Sardinia, and in America. What were they trading? Why were they communicating with each other? Is this why Khufu had so much money to build a massive pyramid? If he built the pyramid, did he tap the worldwide resources of America, of other countries, these builders from everywhere to try and build his amazing structure? We're going to get to the bottom of all that. Because you see, I made a video back in the day, is it forbidden to say that the Giza builders built these buildings in Europe, Sardinia, etc., such as this? And I made this video and it became very popular. Look, 194,000 views. And I said, look, this is Giza building work. Unbelievable. Same as in Egypt. And by the way, we have the shadow of nubs here. I believe these would have been nubbed rocks on this particular mastaba here, the mastaba of Khufukaf. So this is all very interesting stuff. And we are going to seal the deal on transatlantic contacts in this video. First, I want to do a recap of what I did in the Machu Picchu video saying the Irish built Machu Picchu. Now, I don't think, I may not be the first to suggest this. Someone made a comment in this video and they said, look, hang on a sec, there was this Irish bloke and he said in a book maybe in the 1960s or something that this is Irish-like in Machu Picchu. So fine, we have, but you know, we have to get this out there. So let's go. So just a recap. Oh, it's spooky. So we could be looking at ruins in Ireland, 2700 BC, if we're using the Egypt date, because why not? Machu Picchu like houses. I'll show you another one because I'm going to show you new evidence people, and this is just going to be absolutely amazing. Now these are the same sorts of houses you get in Machu Picchu. Okay, enough of that. So I'm saying sun worshippers, the ancient Irish were sun worshippers and snake worshippers. We see a similar thing. Now I'm going to show you new evidence. So obviously I made a lot of photos when I was over there in Ireland. So for example, this is the kind of thing you see in Machu Picchu. You see these edges and then you see a flat top there and it goes down again. You see this over and over again in Ireland. This is in Glendalough. And you just see this again. Now I'm going to show you new evidence which absolutely seals the deal. Seals the deal beyond a doubt, and there is no way anyone can argue with it that there was transatlantic contact between Ireland and the New World, and therefore probably Egypt and Sardinia as well. This is called the Staircase of Death in Machu Picchu. Notice its building structure. It is stones built into the wall. How the hell did they build this while they were building the wall? Very dangerous work. Straight down if you fall. People, there are pictures on the internet, people clambering over the Staircase of Death. And, you know, so when I was in Ireland in general and also at Glendalough, you see different types of staircases to go over walls. And they're built the same way, stones sticking out of the wall. And when I was there, I thought, wow, how innovative and inventive. But it turns out these people in Machu Picchu did it exactly the same way. I mean, what the heck is going on with that? Why would they do it just exactly the same way? This is me, you know, walking on this staircase, so you can see it is indeed the same type of staircase, just stones sticking out of a rock. And there's more evidence, people. There's much more evidence. So for example, there is another type of way to get over a wall in Ireland. And what happens is, do you see this thing here? It's basically a cruciform type structure on a wall. That's a staircase. So you step there, you step there, you step there, you step over, and it looks the same on the other side. And I thought, wow, how innovative and cool is this? And then we look at an old picture of Machu Picchu, and oh damn, they just happened to build it the same way. What a bizarre coincidence. So what this is a staircase into a doorway in a wall. So you step there, then you step up, and then you step in there, cruciform type. And it's not quite the same, but it is very similar. So you'd have to say to yourself, well, hang on a sec. Why would they do it in a similar style, in a similar way? And of course, Machu Picchu is a very grand and beautiful, beautiful landscape. Hills, valleys, and of course you have the same thing in Glendalough. You go up in the hills and it's just beautiful. So it's a kind of Irish version, although not nearly as tall as the Andes, because the Andes are sort of like Everest. They're huge. Everywhere else around the world, all the mountains are just basically hills. Again, this is in Ireland. When you go up well above the top of Glendalough, and the lake is in the bottom, the glacial lake. But it's just really, it's landscape in Ireland that takes your breath away. Not the same caliber, I'm sure, as Peru, but hey, it takes your breath away in a different way. So they thought, hang on a sec, this is like what we saw in Peru. Maybe we'll build it the same way too, or maybe they were the same builders. Oh, God knows what's going on. Just unbelievable stuff. So you do see different arches. You see that that's a type of Gothic or Eastern arch that you see in the Eastern Roman Empire or in the Eastern world of Persia. And there are many types of arches and doorways, as we mentioned. There's that type as well, which is the Inca type. There are many, many types. There is a rounded Norman type, and these are all in Glendalough, because Glendalough was occupied for well over 1,000 years, and they kept building and rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding and changing and modifying. I'm going to show you even more evidence, people. That's right, even more evidence. It just doesn't stop because it can't stop. So there are many sacred pools in Ireland, and the Irish specialised in making these sacred little pools and stuff. Could be what the Sphinx pool was, a sacred pool. So what you have is a river being diverted, and it goes down into there. That's Peru. But you do see these things in Ireland where you're in the middle of the countryside, and boom, you see rocks laid out, and and the water's collecting in a sacred pool, and there's coins in there. Like, what the hell is going on? You know, this is, and these are all these are wells named after saints, which is just so interesting. Now, I'm going to show you a small little house. There's a small little, it's not a house, it's a church. And at this church, it's really cool because you see that thing there. So a friend, Ancient History Criticisms, pointed out, hey, I think he said, hey, that's Peru-like. And it is quite interesting. So let's just check out the front of this building. The front looks like that. It's a cool little building. So you got that there on the corners. That is kind of Inca-like. Here you have an interesting thing. You actually have, at this doorway, you have a sort of polygonality with this rock here. And that actually really does remind me of the polygonality here, right there. Except this one is actually facing the other way. It's like they've taken the rock and they've spun it around, you know, which is interesting. But that could have been another type of Inca-like doorway, and it was reused. Right, so there is just so much evidence here. So, and as for that, that thing up that I showed you, that thing there, that would correspond to something like a square nub. So that is what that is, whereas you'd have one right there, that is a square nub, right? So you have those things sticking out, just sticking out, and you don't know what the hell they're for. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this extra evidence. I think this extra evidence, look, if you multiply the probabilities together, even a statistician would start to say, hang on a sec, same builders. And if they're the same builders, are we talking 2700 BC like the Egyptian structures? Or are we talking 1080? I mean, you switch continents and they switch time period by 1,000 years. What's going on by 2,500 years from 2700 BC to 1000 AD? That doesn't make any sense, people. So maybe it's 2700 BC for the lot of it, or maybe it's even older. Maybe it's pre-3000 BC. This was some empire. Clearly they were making money. Whatever they were doing, they were making money. They were trading across the Atlantic. What the heck were they trading? I want to know what they were trading, guys. Tell me in the comments what they were trading. Was it orichalcum? Were they trading with the remnant of Atlantis? Were they trading copper and silver from the Lake Superior Mounds? I want to know what they were trading, people. Let's go. Thank you so much.